So are we starting to see a revival in the Singapore tech sector? So in the US market, we have seen heavy selling in the whole entire US tech sector last year due to rate hikes and inflationary pressures. And the Singapore market, the tech stocks have sold off as well. And we did not recover, compared to the US market, whereby we saw massive gains in many of those tech stocks that's focused on the AI sector. Since the beginning of the year, these tech stocks have rebounded massively in the US. But for Singapore, it has not really happened. But over the past week, could there be some signs of a revival coming back in the Singapore technology sector? Hey guys, Joey here, top tier MyZero trader in Phillip Securities, and in this video, I'll be sharing with you 3 Singapore tech stocks that have came into my watch list recently again, and we have a lot of tech stocks, more than 5, 6, 7, 8, but I'll just talk about these 3 popular tech stocks whereby there could potentially be some upside coming in, all right? There could potentially be some signals of a reversal happening, all right? And it is in our watch list, and I want to share with you. So make sure you watch this video all the way to the end if you want to know what are these 3 Singapore tech stocks that you could potentially put in your watch list as well to ride more upside. So let's dive into the first stock right now. We'll look at the chart, we'll do a quick analysis, and then we'll even dive into the system that I have to see what it says, if there are any bullish or maybe even bearish signals that have came out over the past few weeks. Let's go. So the first stock I'd like to share with you will be this company called AEM, one of those really popular Singapore tech stocks, and you can see we are trading at about $3.43 right now. So over the past few months, more than 8 months now, we have been trading below this very critical resistance level, and this level is that $4, right? Look at this right here, $4 we touched, we came down, second time, 3-4 times we touched, and we came back down. So $4 is a very critical resistance level that we definitely want to get above, right, for any meaningful uptrend to form, right? So we are still below it, we have neared it, and we have came back down again. And you can see this $4 also coincides with what we call the support previously last year. You can see it touched and rebounded up a little bit until it broke down and started trading all the way down to $3. So what is the near-term support that we're seeing right now? Well, this support is none other than the $3 level. Look at it, right? Rebounded, we neared it, rebounded, and it was also the resistance previously as well. So the range is quite clearly from $3 all the way up to $4. It's like a $1 range, right? And just a few weeks back, we hit to $4 and we sold off, and you can see we are making our way back down right now, whereby buyers are starting to come back up. So if you're looking to buy this stock on dips, I would say that $3 would be quite a good attractive entry level. I mean, compared to when it nears that $4 or $3.80 or $3.90, that is where some selling can actually happen again. So if it does dip to near $3, maybe $3.10 or $3.20, all right, that is where you could potentially time your entry to get in on dips, as we have seen a couple of rebounds from there. So let me just highlight it for you, right? This is what we call the attractive hot zone, whereby some bargain hunting can come back again right over here. And you can see that in the short term, we are indeed seeing some signs of weakness, because this 20 days moving average is sloping down right now. So we might kind of like see a bit of selling, it might pull back a little bit, and if it does hit to this zone again, right, 3 to 320, 330 maximum, I think that's where you can time your entry to think about getting in to ride the rebound all the way to $4. So AEM is, I would say, more of a sideways trend. There is no signs of a very clear uptrend yet, because we are still capped below 4, as I mentioned. Only if we break above the 4 grid, then that's where all the moving averages in the mid to long term, like the red and blue line, will start to point up more firmly, and that's where we can see the uptrend really start to take shape. If not now, it is just a little bit of sideways from $3 to $4, and that's where you can trade the range like I've mentioned. So let's move on to the second Singapore tech stock I'd like to share with you, and that would be Franken, right? Franken right here trading at about 1.02, right? So this is Franken. You can see that we started to see a little bit of upside in the short term when we broke this 0.95 resistance level. So 0.95 is a very key level that I've been monitoring over the past 4 to 5 months. It was the support level since last year. Look at this right here, supported, rebounded, and we broke down somewhere early of 2023, somewhere in April and May. You can see when we broke down, we were trading lower below this 0.95, which turned into a resistance level. You can see we swing down, swing up, down, up, and we tested this 0.95 new resistance level a couple of times, and we still sold off until recently, right? Just last week, we attempted to break this 0.95 level that we have been trading below for more than 4 to 5 months. So that is a good sign. This was a short-term upside when it breaks a key level that has been trading below, and there are some signs of the short-term trend indicators turning up as well, with it breaking a key level. That is potentially where some upside can happen, right? Some momentum can start to happen all the way to maybe about 110 to 120. Look at this right here. Why 120? You can see that is where we have seen selling since last year. You can see we touched, we sold off, we sold off, we sold off. About 3 or 4 times we neared 120 and we sold off. So that could potentially be the upside targets, all right, to about 120, and that's where some profit taking can come back again, right? So Franken is looking pretty good. I would say anything above that $1 or maybe even 95 cents for now, I think that is where it could offer a little bit of upside. But for the uptrend to firm up strongly, like something like AEM, right, the $4 level for AEM, same thing for Franken. If we really want to see the uptrend form up firmly, all right, we want to break the key 120 to 130 level, because since last year, for more than a year, we have been trading below these two levels, 120 to 130, and sellers just keep coming back to push prices down. So for any meaningful uptrend to happen, we want to break this 120 to 130 level, and that's where the moving averages and the longer term trend indicators can really start to point up. Because right now, it could just be a short term, upside might push up all the way to like near 120 and selling and come back, and it might start to retrace back down again, like what we've seen over the past 6 to 8 months. All right, so let's see if we can break 120, 130. If that happens, great. That is where we can potentially see the uptrend really start to form up and take shape into 2023 and even into 2024. So let's see how Franken looks on my 1GT system. So I have a system that filters out stocks like this for us, whether is it a bullish stocks or bearish stocks, and it comes up with bullish or even bearish signals. And more importantly, it guides us on entry and exit. So let's see how Franken is on this 1GT system. 1GT stands for one good trend. It's pretty much a strategy that I have to ride the trend of counters to maximize our profits. If it's an uptrend, to take buy positions along the way. If it's a downtrend, you can take short positions to ride the downside, right? So if you want to find out a little bit more on the entire strategy or the framework behind this system, you can attend one of free web class that's still running. You can attend, click on the link to register for it. I'll put the link around this video, click on it. That's where you can learn a little bit more on this strategy and system. All right, so let's go back to Franken. You can see Franken right here. I'll not go too far, but you can see since last year I mentioned the tech sector have sold off in the US, the Singapore market have sold off, and of course Franken, we had a couple of like red arrow downs are pretty much bearish entry signal. You can see it was a red arrow down. It was like $2.20, pop all the way down, rebounded a little bit. Another red arrow came out. It sold off. Every time we got a red, bearish signal, this red arrow down, you can see it just sold off from like about 160 all the way to like 110. All right, and that's pretty much the downtrend period, right? Downtrend period for Franken. And you can see that the bar, this trend bar at the bottom, turned from green to red as well, and it's correct because since last year we have been pretty much in a downtrend, forming what we call lower highs, lower lows, and only up to this year, that's where we have found some stability in terms of a support being found, right, somewhere around that 80 cents to 75 cents, whereby it did not really push lower. We found a good support and it's been trying to hold above this support, but not really an uptrend yet, right? It's still a bit of a sideways to downtrend then. And the thing is that we got this signal right here. So let's see where we are right now. So a couple of the bearish signal this year, you can see sold off, and the bar is still red in color. But in the short term, we got this bullish signal that just came out on the 15th of August, right? 15th of August, got this bullish signal coming out, and it started to pop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. It started to push higher all the way to about 102 to 103 right now, right? So yes, we got this bullish signal that's playing out. There are still no exits yet. So I think if we can break the 110, all right, or yeah, maybe it might hit to 120, as I mentioned, that's where some selling can happen again, and that's where maybe you might see an exit signal that can guide us to get out as well. right? So this is what it says on my One GT system. Find out more, attend one of those free webinars. I'll place the link around this video so you can check it out. All right, so that is Franken. All right, let's see how it plays out. A bullish entry signal. There are no exits for now. So guys, if you like this video, you found some value, I'll appreciate it. You can give me a like, that will really help out the channel, and smash the subscribe button as well, all right, so that you will not miss out on any videos like this. All right, thank you so much for doing this. So let's move on to the third Singapore tech stock that I would like to share with you, and that would be UMS, one of those really popular tech stocks as well. All right, and let's just cover it right now because I saw some good bullish actions coming back over the past few days. So this is where we are right now at about 1.19, 1.18, and over the past 5 to 6 months, we have seen it consolidate, right, below this $1.15. You can see $1.15 was a bit of a support when we broke down. We started selling all the way down to about that 90 cents, right? 90 cents, we found a bottom in May, and we started to see a bit of a rebound back up, and it was back to this consolidation from about 95 cents, right? Yeah, above 95 cents, maybe about $1 to 1.15. Let me just draw it for you right here. You can see that this is the range that we have traded right over here. From about $1 to $1.50, same thing like right over here. So it was up and down until we broke down, went down, and we are back to this consolidation phase below $1.15. So 115 would be a very critical resistance level whereby, if we break that level, and of course we see some signs of the short-term trend turning up as well, that is where we could start to see some upside momentum coming back. So over the past few days, it seems like we have attempted to break the 1.15 level. All right, we have hit it to about 120. Some selling is coming back, which is normal. It might consolidate a little bit from 115 to 120, like a 5 cents range, and hopefully eventually if it does break at 120, it goes to 121, 122 or 123. That is where potentially more upside can happen, right? As we can see targets going up all the way to our next key resistance level will be around that $1.35. As you can see right over here, that was pretty much where we broke down a support. It became the resistance. So that's where potentially we can hit to, as long as we were to stay above $1.15 right now. That would be the new short-term support. If we stay above, great, we can potentially see more upside. And in terms of the uptrend, what do you guys think about the uptrend? I mean, is it like a very firm uptrend? Well, not really a very firm uptrend. It's something like Franken. We are still kept below a very, very key resistance level, like in this case, the 135 or maybe even the 155 level right over here. If we can break all these key levels, that is where we are actually attempting to find a new high, then the mid to long-term trend can really start to form up in terms of the upwards direction. If not, it could just be a short-term rebound to the next resistance level. Profit taking comes back, it might start to retrace back down again. So I'm looking to see if the uptrend can really form up like in the US market, right? We saw some really good move in some of the tech stocks, and the rebound, the uptrend really form up well, and we saw like more than 20, 30, 50% gains in many of those tech US stocks. All right, so let's see if it can happen in the Singapore tech sector as well. All right, so this is UMS. Let's take a look at what it says on my system, the One GT system, to see if there are any bullish signals recently. Okay, UMS on my One GT system, the one good trend system that I have that allows us to spot companies like this and also guide us on entry and exit. All right, so we're not go too far, but I think since last year, like July, we got a little bit of a rebound. You can see a couple of bullish entry signal, a green arrow pointing up. It went up from like about 110 all the way to about 130 over 130, and then we got an exit, and some bearish signals came. Look at this, right? So this is like a red arrow down. It's a bearish entry signal. So if you've gone up to a certain level and you see like a red arrow coming up, you just want to be a bit more careful. We might see a bit of selling pressure, and if we break certain support, you can see we sold off all the way from like 130 back down to like about 90 over cents, and we got this exit. All right, so not good if you see like a red bearish signal. So that's how a system can guide us. All right, and let's see how it plays out since this year. So another bearish signal, so all the way down again. Another bearish signal, all the way down. So a bit of a downtrend, as mentioned, right? Not really a very clear uptrend. It's a bit of a downtrend, a bit more sideways. We might have found some support around that, $1 to 90 cents, but a little bit of a sideways movement. And let's just zoom into where we are over the past 1 to 2 months. So you can see that the trend has started to turn from red bar. So red bar is a bit of a downtrend since like, March, April, May, June, until somewhere around like July and August now. We have seen that the trend bar has turned from red to green in color. And we have stopped seeing like, red bearish signals like what we've seen last year, we have started to see some bullish entry signal, some green arrow. Look at this right here, green arrow pointing up, went up a little bit, exit, another green arrow, right? So this is the most recent bullish entry signal on the 31st of July, just about a few weeks back, and started to consolidate a little bit sideways, and you can see it's now making its way back up, right? And as I mentioned, it has broke that key $1.15 resistance. So yes, I mean, if it stays above 115, it might start to push up to 125, 130. All right, as I mentioned, the next resistance level will be somewhere around 135. If that breaks, great, we might hit to maybe to 155. That is like the next resistance level as well, somewhere in November 2021. We were right there before the whole tech sector sell down last year, right? So yeah, that could be the next upside after 1.35, right? So yeah, I think if we can break the level, this bullish signal might still start to play out until we see an exit that can guide us to get out as well, because that's where some selling pressure can actually come back. Alright guys, so these are pretty much the 3 Singapore tech stocks like ShareView, AEM, Franken, and UMS, and I hope that you've taken note of some of the key levels that I talked about in terms of the trend, in terms of some upside targets, and where some selling can actually come back again. And we have dived into the system for 2 of them. Alright, so if you want to find out a little bit more in terms of the framework or the strategy behind the system, attend one of those free web classes that we're still running. Click on the link around this video or below it. I'll place the link there, attend it, and that's where you can learn a little bit more and see whether you can get access to this system as well for free. Alright, so Joey here. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to see you in the next video. Take care.